authorities to do whatever it is you want to do. You're not a slave, okay? And the man is not your master simply because you. Welcome to yet another episode of Anything Talk. My name is Sandra Orokodo, and this week I'm going to be talking about submission and sacrifices as it relates to relationship. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right into the video. But before that, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. Don't also forget to subscribe on the channel. Subscribe, and also do not forget to click on the notification bell below so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to see it. So, like I said, let's jump right into the video. So, submission and sacrifices, men and women. Like recently, there's been so much debate on Twitter about this particular topic that I'm beginning to think that, you know what, what's the debate all about? Who sacrifices more? What is submission? What is the concept? So I begin to think, what do they mean by submission in any sphere of life, in any organization? Because I know that relationships are also, like, especially marriages, they're also organizations too. So in any form of organization in life, there has to be a leader, but that does not mean that a leader is a master. Right? There's a difference between someone who is leading you and someone who is a master. So I think relationships are not like a master and slave thing. So although someone has to lead, that does not undermine the other person in the relationship. So who should lead and who should, follow? You have to. Someone just has to lead and the other person has to follow, and it has to be natural. No matter what you think, the moment you try to force it, you're going to meet an obstruction and then you start to have problems. So who should lead and who should follow is always it is always like a topic for discussion when it is brought up. So yes, in my opinion, right, as a person and as a woman, in my relationships, I always, let the man lead. It's just natural. It just comes natural. Let the man lead. Somebody has to lead. And letting the man lead does not undermine the fact that you are a human being and you also have your rights and your authorities to do whatever it is you want to do. You're not a slave. Okay, and the man is not your master simply because you are letting him lead. It just puts things in the right perspective, and it makes things work easier when you allow somebody to lead. In my own opinion, the man. So it is not a situation of, okay, for example, you're having a conversation, like I was talking with my friend the other day, so she gave me this example. Say, okay, you want a dog, okay, so you ask your partner as a woman, and you tell the person, okay, hey honey, I want a dog, what do you think? And then goes by and tells you, oh, I think it would be good if you really want a dog, you should get one, but I think you should get like a small one, those species that don't really, those really small species, not the like Rottweilers and all that, because of this reason and because of this reason. Watch this now. Honey, I want to get a dog. Oh no, you can't get a dog in this house. I don't like dogs. Sorry, that's a bad example. Oh no, you cannot get a dog in this house. Simple. Are you seeing the difference between the two conversations? I mean, one is saying, okay, fine, you want a dog, go ahead and get a dog, but these are my reservations and I want you to put them in perspective. And the other one is saying, you know what, I don't want a dog. You cannot get a dog at all. My word is command. So I start to think, what is submission? When people say submission, what do they mean? So for me, submission should be you actually giving in, not because the person mandates you, but because you want to. You are giving the person trust. Okay, you are entrusting the person with yourself. Okay, this is me. I'm trusting you with my affairs, and I trust that you will handle them well. That is submission. But from the conversations that I've had with some other people of the opposite gender, when you talk about submission, they actually mean something different. Something relating to like a master and slave relationship. Yes, so the wife has no say when it comes to them. No, they are the man of the house, and the wife has no say. So I begin to think, you start seeing things, you start hearing things. People start saying things like, "I'm the man of the house." Okay, who is supposed to be the man of the house? Of course, I'm the man of the house. I'm the woman of the house. I'm not trying to be a man. I am not a man. Obviously, I'm not a man. I'm a woman. I'm not trying to be the man of the house. You are the man of the house, quite all right. I am the woman of the house. So I actually think that when it comes to submission, we should not look at it from the point of master and slave relationship. We should look at it from, meeting, each other at the middle, halfway. Yes, meeting each other halfway, reaching a compromise, because the other person is submitting their affairs to you. Handle it, but don't turn me into something that I will hate. I was watching a movie yesterday. I think it's called Rosemary's Fight. Yes, Rosemary's Fight. So I was watching that movie, and I got a call from Rick Hassani. I'm so excited all over again. Okay, so I was watching that movie yesterday, and Rick Hassani called me. I was so excited. And so, because I love you, thank you for the call. So I'm going to just jump back right to my video. So I was watching that movie yesterday, and it's a Dominic and John Bella movie. She was a working class lady when he met her. He met her in the office. She was working. He met her in the office, like he was attracted to her in the office. That's how they met. So they got married, and they asked her to stop working. She was working. He said how her work was disturbing the family and all of that. So she agreed to stop working, and she stopped working because she wanted the family to, have peace and be happy. But he started hitting her. From hitting her, he evolved to, he was actually doing some really crazy. He was beating her so much, and then he was now cheating on her. She had the first baby, she had the second baby. He was now saying things like, "You're too fat, you're too slobby, you're too this, you're too that." She had to leave the marriage. And do you know what? She had to frame him. She had to gather evidence, because he was so powerful. She had to gather evidence to enable her, threaten him to leave the marriage. She never accept the fact that, to enable her get him to accept the fact that, "You know what, I'm going to leave you, and you're not going to do anything about it." So she was submitting to his will. She was a submissive wife. She was everything that he wanted, yet he treated her badly. But I don't think that is what submission should be. Although if you want, you can, but I don't think submission should be you leaving your job, and doing things that don't make you happy simply because you want your marriage to be happy. Because if you're not a happy person, your marriage cannot be happy, or your marriage can be happy but you'll be sad. People will see your marriage as happy, but you're going to be sad. Your husband will be happy, but how about you? It's you first, and then your husband, because you have to meet your husband in a happy place. So she was not even happy. And then he was not even trying to make her happy. So you see, if you have to submit, you should not do things that will make you unhappy. You should do things that will not affect your happiness. That's what I think. That's just what I think. So submission should not make you act like a slave simply because you want to make your family happy. That should not be your first point of action as a human being, is to make yourself happy. So submission should not get to the point where you become unhappy. That's what I think. So I think in a relationship, a man can submit to the wife, and the husband and the wife can submit to the husband. They all meet halfway. They all reach a compromise, and the family is happy. And then that brings me to another point. My next point, to sacrifice. I think in a relationship, both the man and the woman, they have to sacrifice at every point in time. But how do we get who is to sacrifice at this point in time? So I was reading something that someone put up on my WhatsApp group the other day, and the man was asking the woman to leave her 4-bedroom flat that she owned to come and live with him in his 2-bedroom flat that he was renting, because the woman has to leave her home for the man's home when they get married. Now, I didn't think this was right. And he also said things like, she cannot, top up her finance, top up the money he gave her for the preparation of the wedding, even though she can't because she has a very good paying job, simply because he cannot provide those things. So that's, for example, now if she wants a hair of like 250k, say for example, and he can only provide 50k, she has to go for the hair of 50k. I don't think that is being considered at all. I think nobody should even make you do that at all. Like, nobody should make you do that. That is not sacrificing, and that is not submitting, because where these two points come together, where they meet, is that submission often leads to sacrifices, and sacrifices often leads to submission. So the man is asking her to leave her 4-bedroom duplex apartment, big apartment, to his small 2-bedroom, because she has to be the one to live. And she even gave him the choice of paying her rent if he feels like he doesn't want to live in a free house. He said no. She said, okay, why don't we move to somewhere else where I don't own and you don't own? And he said no. This man doesn't own a house. He's paying rent, 2-bedroom, and he wants her to leave a 4-bedroom to come and live with him. I mean, you're watching this video. Do you even think that is right? I don't think it's right. But she was even considering, she was asking, well, okay, what should I do? I don't think that's something you should ask, because the moment you hear it, you just know it is bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. So if things like that come up, who's supposed to leave whose job? If your husband has a well-paying job, more than yours, then by all means you can leave your job and go and live with him if you're living in different states. But if you have a higher paying job, if the woman, for example, now let me just say so that I will not be misquoted, if the man has a higher paying job, by all means the woman can quit and go and live with him. If he is living in another state, she can look for another job there. But if the woman has a higher paying job, by all means the man should not ask her to quit. He should be the one to quit, because it means that she can sustain the family better than he can if she quits her job. So if she's living somewhere that is more comfortable than where the man is living, he should come and live with her. I mean, there's nothing wrong. These things, I think at the end of the day, men like ego. That is the problem. They like ego, and they like things that will, feed their ego. That's why they want their women. That's why they want women to, do things that will not necessarily make them happy. That does not make any sense, but they hide it under the guise of submission. So I think in submitting to a partner, anybody can submit to the partner. The man can submit, the woman can submit, the man can sacrifice, the woman can't sacrifice too. It all depends on where and how everything is. It should also be reasonable. Talk about it, and don't do things, when you ask some of these men, okay, are you going, this thing you're asking your wife to do, you do it. They will not agree to do it, because that it does not really make any sense to do it. They will not agree to do it. So in the same vein, there are also women who would not like to sacrifice for men. Yes, I was coming to you. There are women who would not like to sacrifice for men. They will say, I cannot do this, so I cannot do this, so. I mean, it's a relationship. You have to sacrifice at the end of the day. So they did not see that in a relationship only one person will sacrifice. The both of you have to sacrifice. The both of you have to submit, so that the both of you will be happy. So I'm not going to drag this. I'm going to discuss, that topic is a very sensitive one, feminism. Because when you start talking about things like this, submission and equality in sacrifices, equality in submitting, you see, it's very easy for people to start calling you a feminist, because they misunderstand the whole concept of feminism. But that is going to be a topic for another day. So I'm not going to take much of your time anymore. I'll just ask you to like this video, share, and comment in the comment section down below. I would like to hear what you have to say. Say something so we can discuss and learn from each other and understand each other perfectly and well. And then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I feed on your subscription, please. And then don't also forget to click on the notification bell below, so that whenever I put up a new video, I'm going to do that. It's going to be amazing next. So I know you want to watch that video. Don't forget to click on that bell, and I will see you next time. Follow me on social media. It's Sandra Orokodo on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I will see you in my next video. Stay safe.